Did anyone else ever get in trouble as a kid and have all of their electronics taken away so the only thing you could do was read a book? But I need Mario. Crisis averted. The Mario series has spread itself into almost every single form of entertainment in its nearly 45-year-long existence, with books being a part of that. I've already covered a handful in a previous video, so go check out that one after this. And today I'll be covering a handful more Mario books. And I'll be delving into deeper depths, with a handful of these books being unofficial. Hopefully none of them are plagiarized like they were last time. You heard that right, an official Nintendo book contained plagiarism. And I'm somehow not surprised. I briefly mentioned this one in the previous part, however I didn't go into any detail because at that point in time, I didn't have it. And this is proof that life does get better. Meet Mario, Luigi, and all their friends and foes from Mushroom Kingdom. From Mushroom Kingdom, not the Mushroom Kingdom. The first page of the book literally says the Mushroom Kingdom twice. And this is far from all of their friends and especially foes. Where's intern Shroob? Anyway, this book is apparently intended for kids in grades 1 to 3, which is about 6 to 8 year olds. Maybe I'm just out of the loop when it comes to this kind of stuff, but this book feels incredibly basic for somebody in that age range. Sure, it's been a while since I've been there, but still. It's just extremely simple descriptions of a handful of the more iconic Mario characters. Like Luigi is Mario's brother, in case you were unaware. It mentions Daisy being the princess of Sarasaland, which is the most obscure this book gets. And the Koopalings get an entire page dedicated to them though, for some reason. Okay. A good thing the saying, don't judge a book by its cover exists, because I would just assume this is 32 pages of introducing just Mario himself. And I can't believe that this book was $6 originally. You know what I could buy for $6? Not much nowadays, but you know, something more worthwhile probably. This is probably my favorite book in the video. Super Mario Adventures is, as the back of the book so perfectly puts it, is a collection of comics that originally ran in the Nintendo Power magazine. That magazine ran from 1988 to 2012. Most of the magazine was dedicated to advertisements for upcoming games and tips and tricks for already released games. But there were a handful of comics throughout the magazine's run, and Super Mario Adventures was one of them. For most of the comic's run, it was actually one continuous story, being an extremely loose retelling of Super Mario World, and there's a second story featured in this book being based on Super Mario Land 2. I don't really feel like talking about the first, longer story because of reasons, but I'll gladly discuss how Mario was seemingly a jerk to Wario in their childhood. Shh, it's okay, don't cry. Basically, it starts off with Mario getting a letter from Wario saying they should meet up again. Mario then looks back on their childhood when they used to play together. He remembers it fondly, but then we cut to Wario's perspective where he was just bullied by Mario for some reason. On his way to Wario, Mario comes across several of the bosses from Mario Land 2, like the 3 little pigs and the witch. You know, just such iconic characters. Once Mario arrives, Wario tries to enact his revenge, but then Mario just tells him to let it go, and then proceeds to start bullying him all over again. I really like this book, and it's very well illustrated. There was technically another Mario vs. Wario comic, but that wasn't included for whatever reason. I definitely recommend grabbing this book if you're interested, and you can usually find it for pretty cheap on eBay or other places. Here we have not a book, but there's pages, so it counts. This is the Time Magazine special edition for the Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary. It goes over all of what you'd expect in something like this. The history of the character and the franchise, their rise in popularity, key figures and their creation, false information that would take you 2 seconds to fact check, you know, classic magazine stuff. Like they claim this is a screenshot of the 2015 Super Mario Maker. It's not. Here's how I know. The forest theme, the rising water, the snake blocks, and that version of the Mario sprite aren't in the Wii U game. And on page 42 they show this artwork which is from Mario Golf World Tour on the 3DS, yet they claim it's from Mario Golf Super Rush on the Switch. Like come on guys, you're a major magazine publication. You should be able to do the 2 seconds of fact checking that it would require to know what these games are. But no. They made a few other kind of weird decisions here, like the inside of the cover is art from New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is weird enough as it is, but then they also put 2 Super Smash Bros. Renders in it for some reason. One from Ultimate and one from Wii U and 3DS. It's just weird. And there's like 8 pages dedicated to Super Mario Run in the mobile games for some reason. But one last thing I want to mention are these sections, the must-plays and the skippable games. We've got Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros, Mario 3, Mario World, Mario 64, Mario RPG, Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World, and Mario Wonder as the must-plays. Sure, okay, I don't really think you need to play Mario Bros. Game's not that good. But here are the skippables, and I'm just the messenger. Mario 2, Mario The Lost Levels, yes, don't play that game. New Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Sunshine. Again, I'm just the messenger. This magazine, while definitely having some flaws like blatant misinformation and just weird decisions overall, is still really neat to flip through. This would go perfectly at any doctor's office or barbershop, my two favorite places to have my life ruined. If you're enjoying the video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed and turned on notifications. It really helps me out a lot. Thanks. Now it's time to get back into the reading. Yep, reading alright. The Super Mario Bros. Movie A Hero Like No Other was released around the time the Mario movie did. Not that one. And it's just a very trimmed down overview of the movie's plot. It covers basically everything, the beginning, middle, and not the end. So it just ends after the kart racing section. Which is, I guess, to avoid spoilers or something. So it goes from this to this. Also, this Peach render and this one aren't the same. They're ever so slightly different. The one featured on the final page is, I believe, the older one, and the one on the actual cover is the one that was used in actual promotional material. It's obviously meant to be the same render, but it's just ever so slightly off. And this could be a defect with my copy, but the pages stick out ever so slightly too far. It doesn't really matter to me at all. It's definitely not really annoying. It's just a little bit odd. And that's this book. It's okay. I mean, it's more interesting in my opinion, and definitely, like, there's more to read here than there was for Meet Mario. But again, I still can't believe it was $6 initially. Maybe I just don't know the average going price for books made for kids these days. But still. This book starts off by asking a very good question. What is Nintendo? This is part of the incredibly popular Who Was series of books that are usually about dead guys. However, they've branched out into making books about not dead guys and not people. So yeah, the book technically isn't just about Mario, but like, he's right there. They even gave him the iconic super large head. That's fun, I guess. Mario and Benjamin Franklin finally have something in common. We've waited far too long. And the book is a very trimmed down look at Nintendo's history up until the release of the Switch. And there's these pictures in here that are pretty neat, actually, like just of old Nintendo stuff. And again, there's not much to say here. It's just an overview of Nintendo's history. It's probably great for younger audiences getting into their games and just want to know more about them and their history. But for me, I'll just read Wikipedia. I'm not really sure how much this counts, but I talked about instruction manuals last time, so it's fine. The Super Mario Maker idea book came with every copy of Super Mario Maker sold back in the day. At least I think so. And if you bought it used, then you probably didn't get it. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. The game cost the standard $59.99 price tag for Wii U games, and I personally think it would have been worth it even without the book. But no, you get a physical book to look through. And as you can probably assume, the idea book is full of ideas to help you make levels. But this little booklet is far more than that. In fact, most of the book is actually just artwork and fake signatures. And there's various codes hidden throughout the pages that when entered into the game, you can view various videos and stuff. That's really cool, although they just won't load for me, unfortunately. I don't know why. It might have something to do with the Wii U's online being shut down a few years ago, but again, I'm not sure. It's a shame, as even though I can just watch them on YouTube, that's just not as fun as doing it in the actual game. This book is definitely a neat bonus for buying the Wii U game, and I'm genuinely disappointed that Super Mario Maker 2 did not have an equivalent, even if it was just digital. It made the game feel more special, more tailored for the anniversary. It made it feel more like an event, which it was. None of the other Mario anniversary games after this have any sort of fun inclusion like this. Super Mario 3D All-Stars was just the 3 games, and Super Mario Galaxy 1+2 is just disappointment. Maybe for the 45th anniversary we'll get another physical booklet or just something cool to go with the anniversary game, but I doubt it because that would cost money, and Nintendo doesn't want to spend money when they could just make money. This isn't the end of the Mario book series. I'll have one more part going up hopefully later this year when I get more books, because I'm out of books right now.